Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Glad that you're here this morning. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm really glad that you decided to check us out, hang out with us, stick around. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll be live streaming and talking about order flow, order blocks, fair value gaps, ICT concepts. Basically anything that you want to chat about, we can do so, and we'll look at hopefully taking some good trades. It's going to be a good day today. Today is the middle of the week. We have basically 3 more trading days today, Thursday and Friday, and then we will probably be done for almost the rest of the year. We'll probably take another trading day on the 29th and 30th, but that's tentatively. We'll see how things are going. I should be back in town for that. But with that, let's go ahead and open in prayer, and we are going to go ahead and get started. Okay? Father, we just come before you this morning, and we honor you. We honor you with our time. We honor you with our actions. We honor you with our thoughts in our lives, Father. I just pray that you would direct our steps today. Lord, that we would not be pulled and moved by the whips of the market, moving here or there, but Father, we would stand firm in our plan, stand firm on the foundation that we have. And Father, we just pray that you would direct our steps. Lord, I thank you for everyone here, that you would bless them richly, that they would be drawn to you even closer than they ever have before. Father, use this time to glorify your name. In Jesus' name. And everybody said, amen. Good morning, everyone. If you're here for the first time, would you raise your hand, or would you say, that's me? If you're here for the first time, I would love to say hi to you. Sometimes you're like, I ain't saying nothing. Well, I'm glad you're here, Irate. I am. First time, Joseph, what's up? How are you doing? Hero. Oh, look at this. All right. Dashin, how you doing? Cordell, old school. Tony, welcome. Muzz. TP. Bay, how you doing? Nav. Tammy, good morning. Good morning. Well, that's a surprise. That's refreshing. Thanks for checking it out today. All right, so what we do first thing in the mornings when we get on the live stream is we mark up our charts. We have a 3-step process we tried to go through. We moved over to the new contract, so my charts are going to be pretty blank. But we first started at the higher time frames to determine where do we think price is going to go. So from a weekly perspective, we pushed lower after sweeping this high, and we ran lower. Now we've created our low, and we've reached almost to the midpoint of the week, or midpoint of Friday, but haven't quite got there. With it being a holiday weekend, or close to Christmas, I'm not really huge on any massive moves. We could have trend days, that's for sure. Today is Wednesday, and it looks like we don't have any news whatsoever Wednesday. We do have news on Thursday and Friday. So today could be a muted day. Let's drop down to the daily time frame and see what we got. So we had this big move here, a follow-up, and then another follow-up, but we closed inside of the previous day being Monday's range. So that leads me to this potentially has the option of this being a green day. A green day moving higher. How high, I don't know. I really do like Friday's midpoint as a target. I mean, that's 260 points away, so we have time. We don't really need to do that. Our goal is to get anywhere from 40 to 80, 100 points in a trade. But let's see what else we got. Let's go ahead and move our previous day high. To our previous day. We're sitting right at the previous day high right now. So from a 4-hour perspective, let me add my get at my charts here in case the move happens. All right. From a 4-hour perspective, this is the 4-hour I was watching yesterday, and we tagged it, and from there moved higher, and we've continued to move higher. So we are definitely in a a bullish phase from making our lows, sweeping these lows. And do we have anything else? I think we have a daily low that we ran. We have the daily fair value gap. This daily fair value gap right here. All right. And then on the 4-hour, we came up into this 4-hour and closed through it. Okay, so we closed through that 4-hour fair value gap. From there, we've retraced how much lower. I'm gonna mark this 4-hour fair value gap right here. Very small, but I think it's, I like where it's sitting. It's right inside of this order block, which we created. So right here, I like that. Let's drop down to the hourly. There's the hourly that overlaps with that 4-hour right here. And it overlaps with the mitigation block right here in this consolidation. So if I'm looking for something probably around here for a retracement, if we're gonna go that way. Did we sweep this high? We did not sweep that high. We have an inversion on the hourly right here. That we haven't reached yet either. All right, that is our higher time frame analysis. So direction wise, I think we're bullish. I want to look for longs. That's where I want to go. How the next step 2 is narrative. How do we get there? How is this going to take place? Typically, we look through the lens of AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So if we're looking at it in that lens and I want to go higher, I first want to go lower. Now, sometimes that's already taken place earlier in the day and we don't get it. Let's drop down to the 15-minute. Mark our London low. London low starts at 2 a.m. and we have a 2 a.m. low right there. And London high has been ran already. Nice little breaker. I see a move to the downside coming. And then let's mark midnight open. Midnight open looks very attractive, to be honest with you. Midnight open is attractive because it wasn't tagged during London session. When I have a midnight open not tagged during London session, I tend to take note of it. And I'm going to mark the lowest 15-minute fair value gap. Oh, that looks nice. So from a 5-minute perspective, we have a breaker right there, tapped right there, and now we're selling off. Looking at London low is probably the target. I'm interested in the 930 model.
Submitted.
And I missed that entry. I looked away right when I was supposed to click. We're gonna close that.
Submitted.
So it nicely played out there for the 930 model. Oh, I apologize. I have my screen on there. Let's wait here and see what the market wants to do. $15-minute time frame here, still looking at it reaching down to this level. Made some equal lows here. See that? Those equal lows. I want to see those ran and pushed into that level. Yep, Mary, to determine the London midnight open is midnight. Where it opens at midnight, 12 o'clock. London low is the low between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. to get adjusted again today. My neck has been off. Yeah, the gap fill would be right around there. 415. Patrick, I done the 934 a long and one. Was that the right trade? No. All right, so there's the move to the downside there. See if it wants to find support in these levels or not. Here's midnight open. We really didn't have an entry here. There's been, the only fair value gap we got was at 934, and we would wait for a retracement. Old school, I don't know if you're asking me that question. I'm not in a trade. The trade that I did take, I took for the 930 model, which I only share the 930 model as part of the academy. It's the only model that I don't share publicly. So everything else I share. It wasn't intended that way. It started out that way when I opened up the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. Those that joined initially got access to that, and then I'm like, well, to honor those that took the plunge early when I was starting out, I'm going to continue to honor that. So I left it as part of the academy. All right, so we got the 15-minute. I want to see midnight open. The North Star, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here. For those that are here, we also do a daily affirmation. I'm all for daily affirmations. You're going to find that this chat and this stream is going to be more about encouragement than, anything else. If there's crap in the chat, I get rid of it. I don't allow that stuff in here. this is going to be a place of encouragement to build each other up. So we have a daily affirmation that we do. To do that daily affirmation, we have to hit 75. I usually go between 60 and 75. We'll go 60 and 75 likes. Once we hit that number, we'll do our daily affirmation. And since we don't have news, we could actually do it before 10 o'clock if it happens fairly quickly. If not, then we'll wait till after 10 o'clock, because 10 o'clock is the macro time, and I prefer to stay focused during that time. So hit the like button if you want to do if you want to see the daily affirmation for today. Let me make sure I got everything ready for that, by the way. And today, I'll tell you that the affirmation is focused on Elijah. Elijah. Oh, there's Midnight Open tag. Do you see that right there? Bam, right there. Let's see what kind of reaction we get. Rosemary, welcome. Well, why don't we do it now? I think this will be a good affirmation to begin with for the day. We're still moving lower. We're still in the first 15 minutes. I think we're good for that. So let's do our daily affirmation for today. And this is based on 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 12. And you've all heard the story, I'm sure, about how Elisha was looking for the voice of the Lord, and the fire came, the winds came, the rock shattered, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. He wasn't in any of that. And then after the fire came a gentle whisper, the still small voice. So the question for you guys today is, what voice are you listening to? Here's our affirmation. Today, I silence the noise and I follow the Spirit. I trade with clarity, patience, and discernment. I don't chase moves. I obey the still small voice that leads me. The thing about the still small voice is you have to be at a place of stillness in your own heart, in your own mind, to be able to hear His voice. So if you're feeling anxious about a trade, if you're questioning this, questioning that, questioning this, questioning that, I don't think that's the still small voice leading you. Now, you still need to have a strategy. You still need to have a plan. You still need to have risk management. But I believe that the Lord speaks, and He cares about all our endeavors, including this one. So I just pray that you guys would be led by peace and not be led by the whips of the market. Amen. And that is our affirmation. See? Simple, short. hopefully powerful. All right, so the close of this 15-minute candle is going to be revealing to us. What do I say that? I mean, look at this candle right there, okay? If we run this low, we're going to have a change in state of delivery here from a higher time frame perspective. So we're going to bump up to the hour. We're going to have a change in state of delivery on the hourly. I would prefer this low not to be ran. I want to see this low not ran and us start to move this way, and I'd be interested in a long. If we start getting down here and the hourly closes down here, then I'm questioning the direction. There's nothing below these swing lows. There's nothing but liquidity. So either we're going to start running for liquidity, or we're going to continue this trend and reach higher. Either way, we're going to be patient and wait for something obvious. We're not going to try to chase. I really would prefer that not to be ran. Where's our previous day? And we already ran our previous day high. I guess we could go all the way down here and still not run that previous day low. Well, folks, we just ran that low. So now it's time to reevaluate. We have a 15-minute that's untagged right here. There's a 15-minute fair value gap, unmoved, untouched. That if we are running through these levels, we're not just going to stop at this one or this one or this one. I think we'll come all the way down here. So that could present an opportunity. We still haven't had a single retracement into a fair value gap. No, so there has not been an opportunity to take a trade. Even if you want to just take a simple fair value gap entry. There hasn't been a single entry. For me. So, I'm not going to stress on seeing this just drop without me. I'll watch the charts until about 11:30. I prefer no wick there, BC. That's what I would have preferred. Because look at the trend here. On those major levels. So now we're hitting these major levels. We're probably going to run through all of them. The only thing that could hold us is the midpoint. The midpoint of the range, of yesterday's range. We tagged the midpoint. Sure, it could go higher. But I think we're running this way. So if we don't get down here and we get a retracement, I may look for a continuation trade. London low looks attractive. There's your first fair value gap entry. Right there. But it's right at the midpoint. I don't like that. I mean, you can still take it. I start at 9:15 every morning. What is this low? This is 7 p.m. What was this low? 2 p.m. Okay, I could see that one being ran. 2 p.m. is a more significant swing low. And then 1 p.m. Well, I'm glad you're here, old school. Which short? There wasn't an entry for me to take the short. I mean, the only entry is if you wanted to take a breaker right here, and it would have been at 9:31. You would have got short when it went up into that level there. That would have been our really only clear entry. But it is right at 9:30, right? So. Now, look at this 4-hour fair value gap. If we get back above this 4-hour fair value gap before 10 a.m. in 9 minutes, that is bullish. Well, I wouldn't say that's bullish, but it's definitely not as bearish as I would want it to be. Okay, so there's the 4-hour fair value gap. We swept that high. I like this. I like the idea of going lower. I really do. I do. But my bias is long. So let's look at this here. Daily. We're inside a daily fair value gap too. That's tough. I think this could be more of a, not a clear, drawn out day. This here is TradingView. I have a link in the description if you're interested in joining that. You can get like $15 off. My executions are going to be on this screen right here. Excuse me. On that screen right there. And it will look like that on my screen. That's Tradevate. All of my executions are on Tradevate. Because I trade prop firms and funded accounts on prop firms, Tradevate's the most popular one. And you can copy all of your accounts that way. Most of trading is about patience, folks. It's about waiting. It's about not taking impulsive trades, and I've been known to do that. So exercising patience is probably the best trading skill you can have. No, I think I just forgot to put it on this morning because my son is actually laying in his bed with a stomach ache. And so I was trying to get out the door, but then take care of him, and it didn't work. So no, Sierra Leone is still the nonprofit we are raising money for. That is the midpoint of yesterday's range. They're always green. So you can see the high, the midpoint, and then the low is right there. This is where price traded yesterday, in this range. So I always keep track of where that is so I can plan accordingly for the next day. If we stay above this midpoint, I'm interested in longs. If we start getting below the midpoint, I'm interested in shorts. Not temporarily, like if it goes like this and comes back up, no. I'm talking about we are moving through it, come back up, find a resistance, and then we run back lower. What's up, Tyler? Yes, my name is Tyler. think we could get a retracement here or a continuation higher. I don't know how high. It came down already into this fair value gap. Here's 10 o'clock. Close through my levels, just waiting. Seeing if it's going to continue lower here. We do have a change in state of delivery right here, so price could just be retracing to move higher. Just tag this small volume imbalance right here. If I'm gonna look for a long, this needs to find support. That fair value gap needs to find support. What's up, Lincoln? I'm gonna take a long here.
Connection lost.
We're gonna do one contract at the swing high right there. 13 to 50, that's gonna be 40, 37 handles if it hits. That swing low at 10:02 would invalidate my trade. I don't want it to come back down there. Fair value gap, 5-minute fair value gap is sitting at 353. So we're gonna raise that up to go to 353. It at least needs to come to there, in my opinion. There's the 5-minute fair value gap I'm talking about. I want to see it reach up into that level. See how it's still hovering around the midnight open level? I just need to find, I want to see it continue to find support there. That's not good. Don't want to see that. I'm going to move one of these down to this lower wick, but keep the original for original stop loss. Way to go. Nice job. Looks like we're going to be in consolidation for the 10 a.m. move. That means the 11 a.m. move might be better. If we get back above my level, I probably would consider moving my stop to break even or getting out completely, because it's not doing it's obvious the move isn't doing the move that I was hoping it was going to do right off the bat and reach for the 5 minute. That is trade of 8 is what I'm executing in. 10:30 news. I don't know if is there 10:30 news? I didn't see any news. Crude oil, I guess, but I've never seen a major reaction from things like that. Guess we'll find out here in about 13 minutes. Sparky, that's what I started with. I started scalping. And then here's the thing with scalping. You want to make any real money, you have to scalp large size because you're only taking 10, 20 handles. 10 handles. When you're wrong, you lose quite a bit. So I'm interested in trying to get anywhere from 40. I think 40 is like, if I'm at 10, I'm like, meh. At 20, I'm like, okay. But 30, 40 is like, all right, I could take a contract off here or something. And then 50, 60 handles is nice. 100 handle day is that's a good trade. I like those. You have to learn to sit through some stuff like this. Here's the truth. The scalping really plays to the emotional tugs and pulls of the market. And if you're not careful, you can lose just as much as sitting in the market, sitting in consolidation like this. Well, if you're making it work, way to go. A handle is points. Same thing as the number of points you see. So if we go up 10 points, we went up 10 handles. If your stop loss is 10 handles, your stop loss is 10 points. Or $10 another way. A handle is 4 ticks. Four ticks make a handle. think I'm going to close my trade. I don't like the direction of the 15 minute. Yeah, it could go higher here, and it probably will, because that's normally what happens is right when I get out of a trade, it usually goes in my direction. But I don't like where this 15 minute was. Closed below. This could easily get a continuation lower. So I'll just mitigate risk. I'm at break even with the trade for the 930 model trade that I took. We'll wait for something cleaner. Because we're on MNQH. You gotta trade futures. So you gotta go to the contract that's leading the market. Not see what I mean? Got out just in time. Very rarely do I pull myself out of positions, and I did there, and you see why I don't like to pull myself out of positions. Now I could probably get back in and get 10 handles right there. All right? That's probably likely. That's called chasing, right? Literally, the next candle starts moving. That's okay. Look how it's respected that I should have probably just played it based on the respecting of this fair value gap. Let's see what happens with this fair value gap right here. Is it just in consolidation? Means it could be violated really easily. We are just kind of sitting in this consolidation range. See how we didn't sweep this high? I'm seeing this as a fake sell-off right here. I would not be thinking, oh man, it's now gonna drop. I really wanted this 5 minute to be tagged. And it's also 10:26. So we'll wait. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom. Tyler, manage risk. Take your time. Be patient. Don't force trades. And review your trades. That's what you got to do. Yeah, it's holding that one fair value gap. I want to see it break down and then come back and retest, and I'll use that as an entry to go long if the higher time frame is supporting that view. From a 30-minute perspective, I think we could 60. I feel like if we're gonna go longer on the 60-minute, this is gonna be a doji candle, and then the 11 o'clock candle will start moving this way. If that's the case. 4 hour, we swept this high. That high sweep really makes me interested in shorts. I did a whole back testing on this. It really does. Yes, Ryan, we did. Yeah. We got it early. We got our likes in early today. No. One tick is the movement of the candles up and down. So, for example, if we mark out this candle here, which is a 15-minute candle from its high to its low, it has moved 41 handles. 41 handles. That number right there, the 167, represents the number of ticks it's moved. So that's moved 167 ticks from the high to the low. For those interested in the 1030, I'm not interested in it because of the consolidation. It's right in the middle of the consolidation, makes it less probable. Give me a second, folks. All right, I'm back. Decent. For 10 o'clock, it's a macro. For 10:30, I've just noticed a pattern of a 1030 model, so to speak, that will give you a 1-hour trade that's has about a 60 to 65% win rate. 65, 70, I think it was. So, good thing I closed my trade, I guess, right? I'm happy with closing the trade when I did. I don't do bear flags. They're too general. I want more specific. Whoa. There it is. Way to go, guys. Glad you guys are making some money. I have no idea who that is. I mean, this is probably going to push lower. I wanted to see a retest up into this low or the midpoint or around the equilibrium, and then I was going to use that as my continuation. I didn't take a trade. I'm not going to take a short here when I took a long inside the consolidation. I needed to find out which direction it wanted to go, and it ended up running lower. I sliced my finger. I sliced my finger on cardboard. Isn't that crazy? Sliced my finger on cardboard. So there's two options that are going to happen right here. In my opinion, we either run into this level and we continue lower, or we run into this level and keep going, and we're gonna run higher. And this would be a wonderful trade right around here to the upside. I don't know if it's going to be that. That's the chart we're working with here. Just not very clean on direction. If we got down here, I would feel really good about taking a long when I see us bounce from this 15-minute and hourly area, and with displacement, like big candles that way. I'd feel good about that. The other option is we run all the way to the London low right here. Yeah, we took two trades. It took the 930 model. And then I tried to take a long here, ended up getting out because of the consolidation and the likelihood that it looked like it was going to go lower. Yeah, the 1 hour fair value gap is right there. It's the blue box. It's overlapping with a 15-minute though. We got a 5-minute down here too. Might as well mark it. I'm sitting here at break even, folks. Here's what you're looking at on me right now. I'm sitting at break even. I got a few dollars. Just waiting. Uh-oh, I better make sure this is not. We're gonna have to pause this. I'll get slapped in the face. I'll get slapped with a violation for that music. It sounded great though. So, could this really be a double break day? It certainly looks that way, guys. We ran this high, and it looks like we're running for that low. There's just it's only 11% chance that it runs that low, but it looks like it's one of those days. Previous day low is this blue line. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Is this from Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. That's the low. I'm going to take a long here and see if it wants to not run that low right away. It doesn't look like it's going to do that. We'll see. Sometimes these will give you a big candle and then you just get out on the momentum. That'd be 20 points if it hits. Okay, sold one for 20 points. Stop's gonna be at break even. See if it wants to push all the way back up to here. I'll sell it right at that green candle's low, about 25,185. The entry model there, BC, was we're not going to hit the previous day low before we get a retracement. That was the entry model. I'm not gonna lie. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna hit the previous day low. That's the obvious target. And then before it hits, it gives us some type of retracement. Acting like it's gonna go the other direction when people go short towards the obvious level. It's one of those trades where you've just seen it so much that you take the trade. And then I let it go to see how high it wants to go with another contract. We're probably gonna get stopped at a break even right here. All right, so there's the break even for the final contract. And then it after that big push, then it runs for the low. See how the 5-minute has closed above this so far? We'll see how it's going to close once we hit, if it hits that previous day low. I'm not sure it's going to hit the previous day low. I don't know. I just know that I've seen it. I mean, it's 11% odds that it hits it. Previous day low was hit on ES. ES has been hit. All right, we're probably gonna hit it here. That's my guess. Yep, there it is. Previous day low hit. We have an inversion here. So the question is, are we going to get a retracement? And would it run this way a little bit for a retracement from a previous day low? I tend to be, just FYI guys, I tend to be a reversal trader. Continuations. I would like to improve on. But continuation trades are something I want to get better at. Reversal trades are the trades I tend to make my big trades on. We're almost done for the day here. Oh man, sometimes I just want to slap myself in the face silly when I see this and I'm like, why couldn't you be a part of that? But the good news is we didn't lose any money in this. Came out break even on that. Made money on that. Yes, a bear flag is a continuation pattern. I hear what you're saying, Evangelist. The thing is you could take anything as a bear flag. This could have been a bear flag. And at what point do you get caught out of it? This bear flag. What point do you say it's not a bear flag? I mean, it's endless on the amount of ways you could view it. All right, so we're still dropping. See how we made that retracement before we hit the level? If you look at most levels, you'll see a retracement right before it. That's why I took that BC. Here's another example of how that 4-hour sweep turns into a nice trade. I need to get on board with that. I got to. I have to find something. I've seen it too many times, yet I still continue to miss them. Is when we have those 4-hour sweeps. Right there. There's a 4-hour. So from 6 a.m. we had the 4-hour sweep. So there's the 7 a.m., 6. So we swept above this 5 a.m. candle. Right there. And we started moving this direction. So 9 a.m.'s here. This is 10 a.m. So is the trade at 9 or 10? You could have said your first opportunity would have been right here. Your second opportunity would have had to been inside of this consolidation, taking that short. Here's the breaker, high, low, higher, high, broke lower, came back up into the breaker. And this would have been that breaker on the 5-minute. Here in this consolidation, I would have wanted it to hit this 5-minute fair value gap. So I probably wouldn't have taken a short inside of this. It would have had to been up here. That means I would have had to been trading at 8.55. So if we drop down to the 1-minute, you can see that candle right there. Here's the fair value gap on the left, fair value gap on the right. Price aggressively comes into that at 8.58. Respects the breaker at 9.02. That would have been your opportunity right there. Basing it on the sweep of liquidity from the 6 a.m. So this would have been the trade idea right there to go short. You could have tried to take this trade right here at 9.31. I rarely would take a trade right at 9.31. Because you can, as you can see, 9.30, 31, 32 tends to be a lot of wicks. And then we dropped. When we dropped into our consolidation, I guess you could have said this fair value gap was strong. If we closed below it, we could have taken a trade. That would have been the trade, I guess. But there would have been no other entry in here, in my opinion. We took a quick small scalp long. Sure, fine, whatever. But I don't think there's really any other opportunity for me, unless I just, say, hey, here's the trend, let's just go short to the downside. Sure, you could do that. But I would say today was a win in the book that I exercised patience for most of the time. This is a 3-minute inversion. I'd go long to that high if it closes in the next 30 seconds. It'd have to do it on this candle here. No close. The reason I'm picking the 3-minute is we have another fair value gap right here. If it closes above the 1 minute and then hits this level and then comes back down, we still have the 3-minute removes that. So there's no fair value gap here. Just this one fair value gap. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Or if you want to take the 1 minute, you can. It did bounce off this breaker. I do like that. I think I like the breaker more than anything. This candle wicked down into the breaker. There's that 1 minute. Let's see what happens. We're gonna be about done here for today, guys. Got about 10 more minutes. Yep, I don't know that movie. All right, 3 minute closed. See if it gives it to us. This is based on us hitting the previous day low. Key level, found support here, have an inversion to the upside. We'll get ready to leave, bud. Okay, good.